Yo, what's going on? This is Mike, and I am the Sports Dope. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at that Sports Dope. And if you wanted to follow my stupid posts on Reddit, which I make sporadically, or if you're definitely watching this on YouTube, if you're watching it right now immediately because I'm fucking live on there, which is I'm only doing it for ease, right? I don't edit, I don't do anything, and it just takes a long time for me to record and upload it. So I figured, fuck it, I'm gonna do it live. Nobody's really gonna watch it. I don't give a shit. See one head there. I don't know if that's just me. I don't know if that's me watching my own shit. It might be. So, like I said, just really doing it for ease of fucking recording. But if you happen to be watching this live, if you happen to find this on YouTube and you want to download it, take it on the go, mindsofmike.com/thesportsdope. Click the little icon on the top for, it's got a little stick and a couple little circles going around it. It's the feed for the podcast. So you click that, takes you to iTunes. Boom, download the shit, take it on the go. From what I understand, I am also on the Google Podcast Network, but I don't know anybody who has a fucking Android phone to check it out for me. So if you're listening there, please tell me. Please. So that'd be cool. Anyway, if you follow me on Twitter, Instagram, I have some pretty sick artwork, and that is courtesy of my friend Andrea Fowler at AndreaFowlerDesign.com. Fowler is the way you spell that. And if you were to go to Andrea Fowler Design on Instagram, you'll be able to see all the awesome shit that she has done. And it is absolutely worth it because it's fucking dope. It's cool. Excuse me. It's Thursday night, a little bit late in the week. I try to do it earlier, but if you follow me at all, you'll know that I got a new puppy, and that shit is fucking time consuming. Stepping around all the landmines in the house, big dog dropping giant turds, and that's all right. We're in the middle of training him, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be awesome. And I'm watching the Jet game right now. I took the Jets and the points. If you followed me on Twitter or Instagram and you saw that shit, and Jets just got in the end zone, so I'm a little bit happier than I was 5 minutes ago when it was 13-0. So, but the reason we're here, we already talked about the picks. We did the picks. Picks are in. Picks are done. Talking DFS now. Little DFS. And so I didn't really do a podcast last week. I just absolutely strapped for time. A couple of late days at work. Got the picks one out on Wednesday. Thursday, I went to the Knicks game. Friday, Knicks Nuggets -9. Last game for Fizdale. Friday, I went to go pick up that dog in the middle of Pennsylvania. Saturday, a bunch of people came over, and then boom, it was Sunday. So what I did was I took my phone and I scrolled it around my DFS lineup so you could see it, recorded the screen, posted on Instagram. So follow me on Instagram. You'll be able to see that shit. Now, probably better you didn't, because we're going to recap these lineups real quick, and neither of them cashed. One of them was decent. The other one, not even close. It was absolute trash. And I'm really upset I didn't do the podcast last week because I had a very sick lineup the week before. Didn't have a chance to really talk about it. And if you listen to the podcast from that week, you wouldn't even hear it. It was a lineup I did after the fact. I had 180 something points, would have came in like the top 1,000 like I always wanted to do in the Millionaire Maker. But I played it on like a side contest. So anyway, moving on, diving in because it's already late and I want to go to fucking sleep. We will start the recap right here, and we're going to go with the like the weekly competition. Not the weekly, but like the entire weekend, not just the day games. And what I did there was not too bad. I took Kirk Cousins and Stephon Diggs as my stack. You know I love the stack. Let me get a quarterback and a wide receiver that I get a team up for some touchdowns. That didn't happen with those two. Actually, they had a pretty subpar game combined for 30 points. We were hoping for 30 for one of them. But they just kind of took it easy, got out to a big lead, and let Detroit just kind of hang out there. The lighting on this is terrible, I'm noticing. So that's all right, whatever. I said Kirk Cousins got about 13 and a half. Diggs got about 15 and change. Nothing really super there. We had some pretty decent games for the running backs. Melvin Gordon, we took just about 20, 19 to change. And a couple of catches, rushing touchdown, not too many yards. Austin Eckler was the star of the show that day, and we took the wrong guy. Oh, well. The next running back we had Kareem Hunt, fresh out of suspension, and he had a touchdown also, a couple of receiving yards, a couple of catches, just a handful of rushing yards though. So only about 15 points for old Kareem. Old Kareem, 15 points. And we talked about Diggs. Julio only had 12 points too. Not anything to write home about. They dominated Atlanta, but did it pretty much without Julio. He only had 5 catches and 66 yards. Star of the fucking show, Darius Slayton. Man, he absolutely had a monster game on Monday night against the Eagles, taking advantage of their weak secondary. Eli Manning dropping dimes into Darius Slayton. Bring him back. Bring back Eli. Run him back next year. No, that's a lie. Please don't. That is an absolute lie. Please don't. Oh, he got tackled in the end zone. That was terrible. So, giant pass interference call on the Jets right there. So, Darius Slayton, 35 plus, 2 touchdowns, 150 yards, 5 catches. That was all, the Giants should have needed, but nope. Nope, they blew it. They just were like, yeah, we're going to take a lead and chill. And they chilled too fucking hard. So those are the only 2 touchdowns the Giants got because they only scored 17 points. In the tight end slot, this guy's been killing it for 2 weeks. Tyler Higbee, another 100-yard day, 7 catches. Didn't get in the end zone, though. And in our flex spot, we went with Alexander Madison. We really went hard on the Vikings here. I took Alexander Madison as just a value pick because Dalvin Cook his shoulder was fucked up in that other game. So, just figured the backup would get some work, and he got some work. He had, a couple catches, almost 50 rushing yards. For the defense, we took the Bucks, and they gave up 35 points. So that's all we're going to say about that. But the total was 141.98, and I came in third with a couple of friends that I did this, about 13, 14 people or so. Didn't cash, though. 5 points out. 5 points out. Oh, well. The Millionaire Maker was absolutely terrible. It was an embarrassment. I don't even know what to say. It's absolutely gross. So what we did there was we went with David Blau and Kenny Galladay as our stack. Just like Kirk Cousins and Stephon Diggs, it did not go well. Under 30 points. David Blau only managed 10. Kenny Galladay, he was probably his best helper in that because he had 18 points. Really, really rough day. I thought he was going to be out there chugging it. He had a little bit more time to prepare. It looked pretty decent against, the Bears in that other start, but, it didn't work out. We went with Nick Chubb in this one. We were kind of not hedging, but, side stacking, I guess I'll call it. Side stacking. When you got a running combo and you think the running backs are both going to do well. So we did Nick Chubb in this one, Kareem Hunt in the other. Chubb had a solid game, over 100 yards rushing and a catch, but didn't get in the end zone. We took Darius Geis as our other running back, and that didn't pan out either. In fact, he got hurt. I think he's going to be done for the year, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, injury reserve. He's done. And we went Devontae Adams, first wide receiver. Thought there was going to be a little bit more. He was great against the Giants, and I'm not saying that he needs to be that great every week, but Jesus, give me something, man. 40 yards. Like, I knew it was going to be a little bit of a letdown, but I figured Devontae Adams, he would be all right. And they would put up a few points, but this game was a lot closer and a lot weirder than I thought. And I think it's a wake-up call because if you listen to the Picks podcast, which you should, winning money over there. I like Green Bay. Talk myself into it. So next wide receiver, no burn whatsoever. We went Philly Dorsett. We were cheap, right? We had a small amount of money left, and we thought that he would at least cash some stuff because Tom Brady doesn't really have targets. One target emerged pretty well this game, aside from Edelman, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. So we talked about Galladay, got him already. Mike Gesicki, the tight end for the Dolphins. The Jets secondary held him. They held him out of the end zone. This Gesicki guy, he only had 1 catch, 6 yards. It was gross. And in my flex spot, I went with Odell. I went with Odell. I thought that he was due for a solid game. Like I thought this was a good matchup. I thought it would have worked out for him, and I thought absolutely wrongly. And the Ravens just got in the end zone now. But Odell, he had not even 40 yards. This guy is fucking pathetic. I can't wait to not draft him in the second round or third round because some giant fan that I'm drafting with is somebody who misses him because he's an idiot. For the defense in this one, we took the Cardinals. They were playing the Steelers. Steelers with Duck Hodges behind quarterback thought we would have a little bit of success, maybe a turnover, and what you're hoping for there is like a pick six or something. Did not work out that hard. 7 points, somewhat respectable. A couple sacks, a couple fumbles, and yeah, that's about it. So there we are. That's the recap. Those were one, I'll say average, maybe slightly above average lineup, and one fucking gross lineup. But we're going to fix that. We are going to fix that this week. And here's what we're going to go with for our Sunday to Monday lineup, right? The full slate outside of Thursday. This is what we're going with. And my man is slinging, and he's going against a defense that I'm not too keen on. They give up a lot of points in the air, and he's slinging, and he's slinging on the road too. And he doesn't know that he shouldn't be slinging yet. He's just happy to be there still. So I'm going to try out Drew Lock going to Kansas City, getting into maybe like a little shootout action with the Chiefs. That would be awesome. I know Mahomes is a little bit, banged up, hurt his hand last week, but that don't matter. He's going to play. And if Mahomes is slinging, Drew Lock is going to be slinging on the other side because they're at least going to have to try and catch up. And I'm going to stack him with my man Courtland Sutton. Courtland Sutton has been a monster, an absolute monster. He's had, he had 7 targets, 5 targets, but the 5 targets turned into a couple touchdowns. Then he had 8 targets, 9 targets, a ton of targets, going against a weak secondary, new quarterback who's just bringing energy into the fold. So give me my man Drew Lock and Courtland Sutton as the stack for this lineup, and we're going to slide in to the running backs. I'm going back to the well, talked about it a few minutes ago, and that's Nick Chubb. Going out to Arizona, I think that it's a good matchup. They were playing Cincinnati last week. It was super close in the first half. They weren't running Chubb. They ran Chubb in the second half, and they pulled away. You got to think Freddie Kitchens is going to realize this. Say, hey, man, maybe we just start by running Chubb. And if we start by running Chubb, we'll just be winning like the whole time, and everything will be fucking smooth. So that's what I'm hoping they realize. Give them the ball a few more times than they did, and just ride them. Just fucking ride them into the Arizona sunset. Next up, running backs. Yeah, this team is struggling hard. They're having a hard time passing the ball through the air, so I think they're going to try and get their running back more involved. He hasn't really been involved all year, but he's a quality back. And this is a team that you never know what you're going to get with them, so it's really a gamble, and it's somewhat of an expensive gamble, but I like it this week, and that's Sony Michel. Patriots, the offense has been terrible. They don't really have – they got Edelman to throw it to, and Mohamed Sanu, N'Keal Harry. I like N'Keal Harry. We'll talk about it. Give me a minute. But, yeah, so I like them to try and reestablish the run a little bit this week. And let me get Sony Michel for $5,100. Next up, we are going wide receivers. And what we're starting with is Keenan Allen. The Vikings are coming to town. The Vikings don't like leaving the dome. The Vikings are going to come to LA and they're going to be like, what the fuck is this weather? They're used to, I was in Minnesota this time last year and it was disgustingly cold. It was actually even earlier than this. It was like October and it was already brutally cold. I was not prepared for it. And, sometimes when you do that, you just get hard. Like your body, everything gets hard. And then you go to LA, soften up a little bit, right? Go to a nice restaurant, you chill out, fucking get some sun for a little bit. I feel like this is a little bit of a letdown spot. The Vikings are going to have it's a tough matchup for them. And I think everybody likes to think the Vikings having a solid defense. Not really this year, and not in the secondary. Keenan Allen is going to burn Xavier Woods. That's the guy, right? Yeah. So, or Rhodes. Whatever. So, I like Keenan Allen. Bottom line, I'm taking him for $6,300. So, I'd spent a little money down the list. So my next receiver, we already talked about Cortland Sutton, but I'm going with Traquan Smith. He's getting a couple targets every week. He's had a touchdown 2 out of the last 3 weeks. And, Drew, for $3,300, I've stocked up big in other places. You'll see in a second. $3,300, I think that it's definitely a worthwhile gamble for somebody that Drew Brees looks at in the red zone. Absolutely. So next up, we're going to the tight end. And look, I don't like taking guys who just fucking put on highlight reels and just had monster games, but I'm going to take George Kittle this week. That dude that was probably the most impressive football play I saw since Marshawn Lynch did that run in the fucking playoffs that year against New Orleans, I think it was. Like maybe 8 years ago, the beast mode run. Kittle, they're playing Atlanta. Terrible defense. Absolutely terrible. And so I like him to have a big game. And I know I expect him to have a little bit of a letdown spot in San Francisco, but not this guy. This guy was, he was hurt for a couple of weeks, so he's looking to make up space. He's looking to make up some time. He's looking to put hurtings on people. As you saw in that game, he's looking to hurt people. He's looking to smash them up. And I like that, man. I like that hard-nosed shit. So give me George Kittle for $6,200. In the flex spot, we got probably the worst secondary in the entire league in Tampa Bay going up to Detroit. And I'm taking Kenny Golladay. Look, Blau is a terrible quarterback. Driscoll might come back. They're still not sure, but one thing I am sure of is that they're going to throw the ball to Kenny Golladay, and he's going to catch the fucking thing. And especially when he's playing against a shitty defense like Tampa Bay, I don't think a lot of people are going to pick him. I think they're going to be worried about the quarterback controversy. So when you can get a stud like that you don't think a lot of people are going to pick, I want to pick him. I'm going to throw him in my lineup. I'm going to take Kenny Golladay. Last up for this lineup, we got the defense. Oh, Kenny Golladay was $7,200, by the way. Paying for him. So I'm saying he's expensive with no quarterback. That's usually a recipe for not too many people to take him, but I trust him. Especially when Marvin Jones is out. They got no running game. What the fuck else are they going to do? They're going to throw it to Kenny Golladay. So for the defense there, I'm going with the Chargers. Like I said, I'm expecting a pretty rough game, a little lackluster from Minnesota, and the Chargers defense is coming together. Give me Derwin James, man. I will just take Derwin James completely. Dude's a fucking monster. He is back. Bosa on the line. They're a good defense, and good thing that they're rounding into form at 5-8 at the end of the year or whatever their record is. So here we go, full lineup. We're going with Drew Lock at $5,700 for the quarterback. Running backs, we're going with Nick Chubb and Sony Michel at $7,900 and $5,100 respectively. We're going Keenan Allen, $6,300. Traquan Smith, $3,300. Cortland Sutton, $5,900. George Kittle, $6,200. Kenny Golladay at $7,200. And the Chargers defense at $2,400. So that's my weekend long lineup. I honestly don't even know off the top of my head. Oh, yeah, Traquan Smith in the Monday night game. I was just thinking if I even had anybody in one of the night games. But there we go, Traquan Smith. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to be holding out hope with probably 60 points I need or something to cash in this. Like, Traquan Smith. Let's see if that guy will cash on a Monday night. Ooh. All right, let's move on to what everybody's waiting for, both of you on the stream. We are going with the Millionaire Maker lineup. So first up, we're starting with the stack. And listen, I'm paying for it this week. I am. And I talked about it on the Picks podcast, but I really like Houston this week. I think that they're going to go to Tennessee. I think that they laid an egg this week against Denver because they were looking ahead and they took Denver for granted with Drew Lock behind the helm. They didn't realize he was going to go out there and throw his dick in the middle of the field and throw it all over the place. Just like, you get a touchdown. You get a touchdown. Yo, give me Deshaun Watson and give me DeAndre Hopkins. I'm paying up for it. I want a premium stack on this one because I think they could both be in the 30s. I'm going to pay a ton of money, and I want to see 60 points plus from these guys in 70 even. 65. Give me 65. I'll split the difference. 65 plus from these guys. Come on. Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins. Let's get that shit. $6,800 and $8,000. I'm paying for him. Next up, running back. I doing it. Nick Chubb, doing it again. I really think he's going to have a monster game out there. They're going to run the ball more. They have to run the ball more. If not, they are the dumbest fucking group of people, I think, ever. And I don't have to say anything more about Nick Chubb over there. Next up, look, this team is falling apart, but they still have hope. So they're going to ride the guys that actually, that can do some shit. This is probably one of the two guys on the offense. Well, now three because he fucking just when he got hurt a little. So I'm talking about Miles Sanders, right? So Miles Sanders, he was started out having a pretty decent game against the Giants, got a little banged up, leg cramps. Boston Scott comes in, ran it pretty hard. He did absolutely solid. But this week, when Miles Sanders is back, he ate enough bananas so he doesn't get a fucking cramp. He's going to be in there. He's going to be in there. He's going to run the ball, and he's going to do all that shit that Boston Scott did last week. And I like him a lot this week against the Redskins. Going to Washington, they're going to rely on the run, short passes, lots of catches, bunch of yards, and 2 touchdowns for Miles Sanders. $5,900. I like it. We already talked about DeAndre Hopkins. This guy's cheap. I like cheap, and I like cheap. Not that I want a guy to get hurt, but the Tampa Bay Bucks, they slang the ball all over the fucking field. They're going to Detroit. They're playing in a dome. Mike Evans got hurt this week. He's not playing. Chris Godwin, he's probably going to have Darius Slay. So where's Jameis going to look? Oh, he's going to look on the floor because he dropped the ball. Then he's going to pick it up. He's going to look up. He's going to find Rashad Perryman for touchdowns. Give me Rashad Perryman, $4,500. He's going to have a monster game this week. I can feel it. I smell it in the air. There's wind blowing from Detroit, and it just says Rashad Perryman. I'm telling you, it's true. Next up, last wide receiver. I mentioned it before. Team is ravaged with injuries. Not even injuries, just bad fucking skill position players. The only person there is Julian Edelman, and now N'Keal Harry. They're going to get him in the end zone this week because of the touchdown that the refs stole from him. Not that I mind, because the Patriots are a bunch of fucking assholes, and they deserve to have the refs steal some shit from them every once in a while. But N'Keal Harry, they're going to get him back in the end zone this week. They saw a bunch of tape on how the Bengals defense operates, so they know how to get him open, and they want to get him a touchdown for the one that the refs took from him last week. So give me N'Keal Harry at only $3,500. This guy fucking blew it for us last week. He was terrible, but I got faith in him. I got faith in this guy because I got faith that the Giants are going to play terrible defense, and if Devontae Parker doesn't play, Fitzpatrick's going to need to find somebody, and that's going to be his tight end, Gesicki. He's going to find Mike Gesicki. He targeted him a bunch of times last week, but he didn't pull any in. I don't know why. Probably Jamal Adams was on him, but the Giants don't have a Jamal Adams. They have a Jabril Peppers, and he's not fucking playing. So give me Mike Gesicki at $4,000 in that tight end slot. So I had a pretty decent amount of money left here. And I'm going hard in the flex paint with Chris Carson, $7,500. Rashad Penny got hurt last week. Obviously, there's going to be another running back, but they're going to just smash Chris Carson all day long. They can't afford to lose a game. They're going to run him until, for some reason, they just stack the box with 9 people, and then they'll let Russell Wilson throw a couple of Tyler Lockett downfield. Please let him do that because I have him in fantasy this week. I need Tyler Lockett to do well. But yeah, give me Chris Carson, $7,500 in the flex spot. Pay up for him. He's going to be worth it. He's going to get a ton of points this week. I can feel it. I know it. So I was stuck here. And when I say stuck, I saw how much money I had left and what I could play with, and I felt stuck. But when I look at the defenses, and I literally had one option left, and that option was the Bengals hosting the Patriots, I was like, all right, I'll take that. Like I said before, the Patriots offense hasn't looked good. I got a couple of their players in here, but they're cheap long shots because I'm not going to pay $7,500 for Edelman just because I know he's going to catch 11 balls for, fucking 40 yards. I'm not going to pay for that. I mean, I'll take a flyer on N'Keal Harry. I'll take a shot on Sony Michel. But I feel like the Bengals could stop them here, or at least hold them down. So yeah, $1,800. I am absolutely okay with the fucking absolute monsters I have in this lineup, and paying up for guys like Carson and Nick Chubb and Hopkins and Watson. And I'll ride with the Bengals defense. I'm okay. Now, if they hold the Patriots to like 24 points, get like 2 sacks, maybe a pick, maybe a kick return touchdown. That's a solid day for $1,800. And it allows me to put somebody like Watson and Hopkins and Nick Chubb and Chris Carson, all these guys that I think are going to fucking kill it. So that's it. That's what we got. So recap this lineup. We got Watson, $6,800, Chubb, $7,900, Miles Sanders, $5,900, DeAndre Hopkins, $8,000. For some reason, I thought Miles Sanders' name was Mike, and I was saying Miles, and I was like, oh shit, maybe I fucked up. But it was Miles Sanders. Don't question myself. Rashad Perryman, $4,500. N'Keal Harry, $3,500. Mike Gesicki, $4,000. Chris Carson, $7,500. And the Bengals defense at $1,800. That's it. That's all I got. I heard my wife yelling at the dog, so I think he pissed on the floor, and I'm supposed to help take her for a walk as soon as I'm done with this shit, so I'm probably going to get yelled at. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at That Sports Dope. You can find me, all the other social media bullshit I have at mindsofmike.com/thesportsdope. That's all I got. Peace out. Have a good night. Good luck this weekend. I'm going to be taking pictures and posting them on the Instagram account from the Army-Navy game. The shit is going to be dope. Go Navy, beat Army. Wearing my fucking boat hat. All right, that's it. Peace out. Later.